Okay, and a very good morning from Orlando. We're off to New York Stewart. Hopefully, finally, you've had a lot of issues trying to get this flight ready. You see there's still, I don't know if you can see at the bottom of the screen, there's still this graphical glitch. I don't know if you can see that, these jagged lines sticking up. I don't know what's causing that. Hopefully it won't affect the flight. It's early morning, it's clear and not really thundery here. Wow, it's incredible. It was when I tried to do this flight yesterday and had all the problems. So anyway, let's try and get this thing underway. Let's hope the screens turn on this time, because as I said, I've had 6 gazillion problems trying to get this flight done. So let's, obviously the latest, Asobo did, bless them, in the end drop their latest hotfix. Very, very welcome, except I can't see diddly squat now. Let's see. Can't really talk about the brightness issue, because obviously it's dark. Where it's sunrise. Hopefully the altitude bug is fixed, so let's get this flight underway and see what's what. And the blurry textures as well. Let's see, I'm struggling to see absolutely anything here, and of course I turned the bloody tooltips off, didn't I? I think it's up here somewhere, isn't it? Battery 1 and 2. No. Just wait till it gets light now. Oh man. Yeah, battery 1 and 2, here we go. Yeah, it's there somewhere. APU master, APU start. APU master. And start. So, need desperately to get some light. So cruising today at an altitude of 35,000 feet, sorry. Flight time is expected to be in the region of around about 2 hours 20 minutes. So as I said, we're off to New York. Now you may well, like me, have heard of obviously New York JFK, New York LaGuardia, and obviously Newark over in New Jersey. So right next door. But New York also has another airport, although a bit further out, which is New York Stewart. I didn't know that until they got randomly rostered this flight. So you learn all sorts of stuff on flight simulators. So yeah, we're off there from the main Orlando airport. Seems to feature quite a bit on the channel recently, Orlando. That's just by pure coincidence, folks. Ah, my screens are on! Yes! There we go. Alrighty. All I've got to do now is find the overhead lighting so I can actually see what I'm doing. Somewhere. Not quite easy to see up. Let's try looking down here, see if we can get any joy. Here we are, this might help. Turn that floodlight on. There, that at least brightens those panels up. I still could do with seeing the overhead displays. Those are coming on. Brilliant. Any joy on the overhead panel here? Yes, overhead interior is that one. There we go. Right, now we're in business. So we're departing for runway 36 right. First flight up to New York Stewart. APSS. That's probe window heat. You bleed. So it's actually quite early in the morning here in the UK as well. I just couldn't wait to get on and try this. So no doubt I'll be absolutely shattered. A great night's sleep. But, we'll try and get a nap later during one of the flights. I'm planning on probably doing LA back to Amsterdam, so I may get some sleep then. Emergency lights, arms landing, ideas, positions, we've just done that. And yeah, strobe lights, auto. So, emergency lights armed. Did we do that? There we go. Getting ahead of myself. So let's set up the FMC. There we go. Alrighty, we're off to KMCO. KMCO. KSWF. KSWF. Cost index, JetBlue. I've no idea. I'm going to go for that they're a budget carrier. There we go. Cruise level. I don't know if they're a budget carrier or not, to be honest. I'd imagine they are. Somewhere in between all that. IS align on ref. Alignment return. Okay, so we go to the performance page, and we don't actually. We go to hold on, I've jumped ahead of myself here. That's the next page. That's the one I wanted. Sorry. 23.4 block fuel we're carrying today. This 9.5. Hopefully the altitude bug is fixed, otherwise I'm going to come unstuck carrying that fuel load. 23 performance. Right, now we can do that. So we can do 1 up about 0.7. There we go. Flexi temperatures flaps 40. Okay, so flight plan, we're departing out KMCO from runway 36 right, I think I said. Yeah. 35 right, 30, Jesus, how many runways have we got here? 36 right. Okay, that's going to be direct to a play. There's no KMCO, so it takes us direct to a place called Camd, K-A-M-D-T, waypoint. And then from Camd, it's direct to Camjo. Joe gets flattened away, going to have some breakfast. Hungry again. Always hungry. And then we're going to arrive. We were actually in Syntalkit Pro for our arrival, given runway 34. However, that's rather on the short side. Not that we can't land it. I was going to take runway 27. I decided, made an executive decision. I don't know what the winds are like at the destination, so maybe opening up a whole can of worms for myself by doing this, but we're going to stick to runway 27, which is what I was given yesterday. So we're going to override what it says I should land at and see how that goes down. There's no star. It's direct in approach, so there we go. Okay, performance page. Let's get those V speeds in. Quite high actually. We're that heavy. Or carrying a lot of people maybe. Right, so flight directors is on. Ground thing is on. So we've got a beautiful sunrise departure from here in Orlando. Should look fantastic, especially if they actually have fixed volumetric lighting. So FMC is programmed up. ATTCAS, let's get that in order now. There we go. Oops. Wonderful. Weather radar is aligned. Doors there. Seatbelts, no smoking. Beacon light can all come on now as we prepare to push back from our gate here in Orlando. When it gets a bit lighter, I'll talk about the JetBlue livery and my thoughts on it. I always like to do that with the random airlines I fly. Feel free to leave your own thoughts as well. Always curious what other people think. As I say, we all have our favourite liveries that we like and dislike. I'm just always curious to see which are the popular ones. Okay, so fuel selectors on this. So we can push back from the gate. We're pushing back nose to the right. Right. So let's. Good morning, ATC. Actually, this comes with a built-in pushbacky thing. I'll have to try that at some point. See how well that works.
Orlando ground, JetBlue 320 requesting pushback.
Off. Oh, there we go. We need to steer to the left, my friend.
Orlando ground, JetBlue 320 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
JetBlue 320, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
And now I want to go straight a bit, actually.
Orlando ground, JetBlue 320.
How much space we got behind us?
Push the aircraft straight.
JetBlue 320, your request has
A
been
huge amount, I
transmitted
don't
to the
know.
operator.
Okay, we're rolling back from the gates. So we'll get our engine started. As I said, we're a lovely sunrise here. Wizz Air are back in Orlando again. They get everywhere, Wizz Air. I wish I'd fix those liveries.
Orlando
Yeah.
ground, JetBlue 320 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
JetBlue 320, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Looking lovely and lit up, isn't it? I do love airports at this time of day. There's just something about them, isn't there?
JetBlue 320 requesting the end of pushback.
JetBlue 320, request to end pushback received.
The menu thing in the middle there, the white sticky downy bar thing, this still seems to be forever present, although there is a way to get rid of that. You can see the shadows sort of. So the good news is, although they've sort of fixed various issues to improve the graphic fidelity of the sim, we don't yet, we'll know when we start taxiing, we don't yet appear to have lost any smoothness, which is encouraging. Okay, so engines are just about engaged. Ignition selector can come back on normal. We can turn the AP bleed off up the top here. Packs on, ground spoilers armed. There we go. What's brake set max? Flaps. AP master switch off. Anti-ice. Taxi clearance altimeter, nose light. Parking brake release. So we need runway turn off song, we need a nose light, we need nav lights. And I think we're ready to mosey, or just the weather radar, and then we're ready to mosey on down to the runway. So, nice to have some decent weather in Florida for a change. It's been so rubbish recently when I've flown out of here. So, see, sun does occasionally come out in the sunshine state. Right, okay, let's go. Find our way. The taxiing still seems smooth enough. We need to turn to the right, find a way to the runway now. It's a right and then a second left or something. Quite sure. Let's come around this way. It's quite a myriad of taxi. Ooh, there's a big bump there. Quite a myriad of taxi. Oh, I see. I keep going around to the right. Myriad of taxiways here. Yeah, it still seems reasonably smooth. So yeah, no complaints there. Let's see, be interested to see what things look like when we get up in the air, won't it? And we swing left here. There we go. Nice. And then there's the end of our runway just down there, so fabulous. How long is a runway? 12,000 feet. I'm checking acres of space. Yeah, to be so gentle with the throttles on this. Back in the yeah, it is. Actually gonna bear with me a minute, because I just want to see if I can get a nice screenshot. Just can't resist it. On the oh yeah, that trick does still work. There you go. Okay, so what's that doing? Still got to sort the throttles out. Annoying. Strobes on. Takeoff lights on. You stop arsing about. Stupid thing. Taxi lights. Gonna have to reconfigure that at some point. I'll do that later. I just want to get this flight done. Yeah, packs off for takeoff. There we go. Elapsed time. Bang. There we go. Okay. Let's take the brake off. Go, positive rate, gear up, autopilot on, packs on, interesting looking beautiful actually. Looking very, very nice as we depart out from Orlando. Climb thrust. This is actually looking a lot better. Not noticed any scenery popping either, although they weren't supposed to have fixed that. Interesting. Maybe it's just because it's quite dark and it masks it better, I don't know. Anyway, flaps up. Get some of these lights turned out now, then we'll switch to wing view and you can enjoy the flight up to New York Stewart with us today. So sit back, relax folks, and enjoy your flight. We'll see you in New York for landing. Actually, here's some now we'll switch to the wing view. Yeah, look at that. Enjoy the view. Oh, excuse me. Enjoy the view, everybody. Okay, welcome back on board. We seem to be doing all right. Cruising here at 35,000 feet. Let's make the PDFs a little bit brighter, see what's going on. Although we don't have a huge amount of fuel. Use that flood lighting. So we need to be thinking about our arrival into New York. Let's get a weather request, send that out. So not a million miles away from our top of descent. Company message, received messages, Meta. Okay, let's print that out. Get a performance page. And of course, as we know, these metas don't like to have the Q and H on them typically. And this one's no exception. There's absolutely no wind whatsoever, seriously. KSFW. Quite believe that. Don't tell me the weather's on the blink. Let's have a look. KSWF. SWF. York Stewart. General info. Clear, calm. No, that's spot on. 1019. So it's clear and calm in our destination. Temperature is a pleasant 20 degrees. Well, that's in the middle of the night, so it's probably quite warm. And there is literally no wind whatsoever. And a radio out. Oh, no, wrong page. Let's have a look. 72,500. 250 feet. So blurries are supposed to be fixed. Let's have a look, shall we? No. Hold on. I want the free camera. Ah, Jesus, camera drone. I would say, yeah, looks pretty good to me. I may have to make some compromises with my other settings because it does feel not quite as smooth up here now. Well, I see, so we're flying up, down and round. Okay. As we approach top of descent. It's pretty hazy out there. We're in some high level cloud. There's a little bit of cloud lower down, but for the most part it's pretty pleasant and clear.
should be here in a couple seconds.
So yeah, the JetBlue livery. We promised we'd talk about that. Let's have a quick chat before we descend, and I do like it. It's quite nice. Yeah, I quite like the tail. It's sort of like a, I don't know, fish scale kind of effect. It's quite good. I do like it. It's a nice, clean yet interesting enough livery. So yeah, that's all right in my book. Okay, we'll begin our descent. We're descending down to 2,500 feet. Get out of this high-level cloud. There we go. And we'll descend at a typical rate of, initially at least, 1,800 feet. So, yeah, we managed to pretty much cruise without any major problems, so that's good. That's always a bonus, isn't it? That descent rate's interesting. It's not quite what I plugged in. I think you'll find I plugged in -19, not like 3,000 feet per. It's coming down now, that's good. Just want to get out this high level cloud would be nice. Now the blurry issue is resolved. We can probably scale back on my, as I got the scenery set to 120. So maybe I can scale that back down a bit. Probably the other buildings come down a little bit as well, just to give a little bit more fluidity. So, hold on. The itchy eye. So it certainly doesn't look as washed out anymore, does it? The colours look a lot more natural, really nice. And it certainly doesn't look blurry either, so yeah, good job all round. I may just have to ease back on one or two settings because it's not quite as smooth as I pan round as I would like. But for the most part, looks damn nice, doesn't it? Not as bright as before. Certainly a lot better now. Certainly a lot more natural feel to it. This looks good. There's obviously still some issues to be resolved, but certainly it's a step. Seems to be a step in the right direction. That's for sure. Have a quick look around and see what other sort of feedback on the forum is. So We discern, so if I go on the main Microsoft Flight Simulator forums, let's have a look. Not working post hotfix at some TBM 930. Aircraft lights messed up. I haven't noticed that. I don't really see too much. People are probably enjoying flying. Okay, we seem smoother again now, so I have a feeling it's something to do with that high level cloud, so we gotta leave things as they are. Or within the cloud, but yeah, quite a blanket of high cloud there. And we've got some lower level cloud up ahead of us here as we continue our descent through 24,000 feet. Expecting a runway 27 arrival into New York Stewart, and then we will vacate left and taxi on back. Looking forward to seeing what random airline we get rostered to next. So we continue our descent through 23,000 feet. Yeah, I think I will just scale back a little bit, pick up a bit of performance. So yeah, we're on schedule to arrive on time. I think 2 hours 20 was the estimated flight time. We're 1 hour 55 minutes into this flight. We've got a 24 knot tailwind, which is always helpful. Inbound on, yeah, let me read up a bit about JetBlue. So JetBlue. Supposed to be launching a New York to London. JetBlue is New York's hometown airline. There we go, apparently. I don't want JetBlue news, I just want JetBlue. Yeah, JetBlue. Major American low-cost airline. 7th largest airline in North America by passengers carried. It's headquartered Long Island in New York. There we go. So it is a low-cost American airline. So we hope you have enjoyed flying with us on this JetBlue flight up to New York as we continue our descent. Can probably ease up on that rate of descent a little bit, perhaps. Switch over to local QNH shortly. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit grey in, I don't know what the METAR said, probably Cavoc. Usually it does, and it's totally wrong. You can't bloody see it, actually. Let's zoom in. No. In fairness, not actually. Ah, these clouds, they look nice, they look good. So we prepare for our arrival into New York. Exciting stuff. So I'll complete this flight, and then probably next I will do LA back to Amsterdam, and tomorrow over Fly UK we've got 737 flight. Actually, I don't know why I keep talking on these as if I'm streaming it, because most of the time people watch these videos well after I've done this. But if you're following the channel content by date, then I suppose it's valid. Yeah, what was I saying? So, next up, if you're watching this video and want to follow things in chronological order that I fly, I'm probably going to do LA back to Amsterdam on the Dreamliner. And tomorrow I've got, we're probably going to do Lanzarote up to, Lanzarote up to Stansted. Had a little ask around on the forums about the PMDG issues I've been having, and it's possible I might be putting on too much flare. So next time I fly, although it's sort of counterintuitive given what my rate of descent is, I will try and flare the plane a little bit less, and see how that pans out. Right, let's switch over to local QNH. Pop seatbelt signs on. We'll stick that on as well. Let's brighten up those center screens so I can actually see what I'm doing. And there we go. Yeah, we've got a good amount of fuel left, quite pleased about that, so good job those issues. Just need to get that CRJ up and running. I'll have to have a check, see if they've dropped the update for the CRJ yet, because I've got some pending CRJ flights with Delta and Air Canada. Delta flying up, I'm not sure, I can't think where Delta's going now. And Air Canada is just a short flight, very short flight over to, keep shouting down my mic, sorry, very short flight over to Victoria. Done it before in the CRJ 515 reality, they'd use a dash or something smaller, but it's good practice for the CRJ. Be nice to try and get a bit more variance, because my Air Canada rostering recently just seems back and forth between all the Canadian places. Air Canada do fly to a lot of other destinations, so hopefully it's at some point going to generate me something a little bit more different. Yeah, you can see we can ease up even more now. We're well on profile. We're coming down to 12,000 feet and we're still 40 odd miles out. So we can ease up that rate of descent as we come down into the lower cloud layer. Before we'll swing round and arrive into New York Stewart International. So what can I tell you about New York Stewart International? Let's have a quick read up on that once we're descending. New York. What did we do for today's at Google, huh? I appreciate some of you viewers won't have experienced days before Google. Older people like myself most certainly did. It's amazing that I grew up in a time when you wanted to find something out, you had to look in an encyclopedia, in an actual book, because you didn't have sort of, you couldn't just pull your phone out and look up anything. It's incredible. So New York Stewart International Airport is a public military airport in Orange County, New York, in the southern Hudson Valley, west of Newburgh, south of Kingston, and southwest of Poughkeepsie. approximately 60 miles north of Manhattan, New York City. There we go. So that's where it is, folks. In case you ever wondered. Put the seatbelts on already, didn't I? Let's get that lighting on then. Yeah, that's good. Start slowing the aircraft for our arrival into oops. Let's make sure we get down in plenty of time. Switch down another notch. So pretty grey out there. It'd be nice to see some of the scenery. Hopefully it will drop out the cloud base soon. So we're well and truly in it at the moment. Water brake set medium in preparation for the landing. Ground spoilers armed. Keep an eye on that speed. There we go. I can catch a glimpse of the ground now as we come out the cloud base. That's gone again. I'm sure we'll break through. Haven't done any of my, if you've been following my general aviation tours, haven't done that for a while. Basically I'm taking the advantage of my family being away at the moment to cram in a load of airliner flights. Usually when they're about most evenings, during the week I only have time to do GA, so we're having a bit of a break from that at the moment, and just stocking up on plenty of different airline flights. Although I may still chuck one in here and there as the mood takes me. Sorry, I can't stop yawning. Ugh. So there we go, looking nice as we drop down below the cloudy skies. In fact, there's our airport just ahead of us to the right there. And here we are. Looking good. Looking very good. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. That's looking nice, people. This sim is right bang on the money with the visuals. Really, okay, there's plenty of airport. We got choice of airports here. There's one down there. There's one over there, which is indeed the one we're heading towards. And I think there's another one the other side of the river there. So yeah, take your pick, folks. Amazing, considering you'd think that this one would interrupt with the planes in and out of there, but I don't know. I have to say, if the scenery popping, I'm not noticing it as much as before this hotfix. Even as I pan round quickly, it's not evident. Certainly not from the cockpit. Maybe if you go outside the plane and spin around really fast, you'll get it. We are good to reduce that rate of descent. So yeah, that's looking good. I'm sure when you fly into the bigger cities, certainly the photo doodah cities, it'll probably still pop, but then it kind of always has done. But as far as here we are back with the generic scenery goes, Maybe I'm half asleep still, I don't know, but I really don't notice it as much as I was before the patch. So this patch is, or this new hotfix, whatever you want to call it, is certainly an improvement. I mean, could have hardly made things worse, could they? But yeah, it's certainly got things looking good again. So that's the good news. If you're like me, frustrated with the state of the sim post the simulator update 5. Got a world update, I think, coming end of this month, which is going to feature Germany, Switzerland and Austria. Enhance those areas. That's going to be good. I'm interested to see where they go next with that enhancement. We'd love to see them do sort of places in Asia, Middle East, Africa, South America. Everything so far seems to have been, you know, the familiar. I suppose it's because where a lot of people tend to fly, but I'm sure there's a sizable flight sim community in other areas of the world who would quite like to see some improvements in their area. China is one that stands out for me, especially the amount of missing airports, and I'm sure they have plenty of flight sim enthusiasts that must be quite frustrated with the missing airports and texture satellite mapping issues, but or lack of landmarks, or all the things that these world updates enhance. So hopefully we'll see. I mean, I know they already did Japan, which is pretty cool. I was toying with the idea of making that my next general aviation tour location, Japan. We'll have a look into that. I've got to make sure that all the airports are available, otherwise I won't bother to do it. But yeah, we're well down in way before we need to. That's overly cautious. But yeah, the scenery definitely is not popping like it was before. I am pleased to say, very pleased to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be arriving into New York Stewart within the next few minutes. We're already as low as we are, not because the pilot has screwed up, he has, but because he wants to show you the scenery. That's right, folks. It's not because I keep screwing up these descent rates and stuff, it's because I want you to see the scenery. And it's quite scenic round here, isn't it? I bet you never imagined, if you're not familiar with New York and that area, that just 60 miles from the centre of Manhattan, which is, you know, as urban as you can get, you got this. Forests, mountains. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Yeah. There you go. Hard to believe that the massive city of New York is just 60 miles away from this. Anyway, let's concentrate on landing, which is always a good idea, isn't it? So we start to swing round. Such an interesting, vast country, the States. And Canada as well, of course. You can still notice, now bear in mind I've got this scale back to 2K, but you can still notice some minor aliasing issues. Probably not going to see it too well on the YouTube because that comes out at 1080 or whatever anyway, and not the 2K that I'm flying in. But so you just have to take my word for this. If you look for it, you see it, but it's not to the point like you get an X-plane where it's, you know, basically punches you in the face visually as to how obvious it is. It's something that I can live with. If it helps maintain my performance, I can most definitely live with it. It's you know, it'd be nice if it wasn't there, but it's certainly not, you know, a huge annoyance. Beautiful, look at this. Must remember to start the, don't let me forget to start the Sky Dolly recorder. Sky Dolly, what I use for my replays, it's free, you can get it from flightsim.to, and it's brilliant, I like it. It's got some good functionality, something about you can export things into Google Maps to review, you know, your flight tracks and stuff, which is pretty cool. It's not something I've tried yet because I only set it recording for landing rather than the whole flight. I need to revisit actually that and see if I can get, because I tried once to get the replay to show the takeoff, but it sort of bugged out, so it didn't like that too much. So yeah, we will cross just back over this river as we come in for landing. Oh man, I just love places like this. Airports by forests, rivers, mountains, the sea, it's brilliant. This is a nice location. Again, I really think this is not a place where a lot of people ever think to fly. Certainly if you're not from the area. Probably a lot of people don't even know it's here. You know, obviously you think to yourself on flight sim, oh yeah, I'm going to go and fly New York. Well, a lot of people probably going to choose somewhere like LaGuardia, aren't they? Because that's right in the heart of the city, so they can get all the nice views of Manhattan and everything as they come into land. Obviously JFK is going to be another popular choice, and Newark as well, over in New Jersey. But most people, I mean, I certainly didn't know this airport existed. No, hold on. Okay, right. Had to get caught in the middle of crucialist phase of flight. Typical. Let's get that localizer switched on. We're about 10 miles out, so we can go flaps 1. So we need to descend, slow down further rather. God, this is beautifully scenic, isn't it? And we should turn in for finals in a moment. Hopefully before we hit these mountains. It'll be good. It'll be very good. It'll actually be really good. Where's the airport? There. There we go. Oh, now this is nice, isn't it? Right, let's get that recording before we forget the old Sky Dolly. Yeah, the localizer's still a bit screwed up, I see. Why does that? Switch to approach mode. Now we've overshot it. Now we're going somewhere totally interesting. So yeah, the ILS capture is a little bit it's sort of, is it doing the same? Yeah, it keeps overcompensating. There we go. Right, I think it's sorted itself out now. Gear down. Flaps. Flaps full. Ah, see, we did well to switch to this runway because the wind is literally straight down our throats. Otherwise we ended up quite a crosswind. There we go, good choice, good call. That sim just looks so good, doesn't it? Now it's not so over bright as it was previously. That's looking just really, really nice. Really pleased with that. As I say, might just need to ease up some settings just to gain a bit of extra FPS or have a play about. Right, let's focus on landing. We are cleared to land. Gear down, 3 greens, flaps are full, ground spoilers are armed. As we descend for our arrival into New York Stewart. What a fine location, as I said already. There's a bit of wind to contend with on landing. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... We're not there yet, but we'll be shortly. Thousand feet. Continue. We say continue at the minimums actually. What am I talking about? Would have piled it up.
400, 100 above, 300, 300, minimum
Continue.
200.
Oh, this actually looks like a airports in the
100.
sim, doesn't it?
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, retard.
Nice. And you're braking. Just going to do this annoying thing again. Come on, sort this crap out. There we go. See if the brakes sort it out. I just don't understand what does this. It's a real pain in the backside. Right, folks, I guess we'll have to finish there. This is really becoming one hell of a bloody annoying bug. Tell you what, this is just a, might as well. This is really annoying the crap out of me now. Okay, let's go to there. Let's go to calibrate. Right. What's going on with this? It's really annoying. Right, well, we'll finish there, folks, as you don't really want to watch this and make for a good video. See you on the next... Oh, no, wait, I need to give you the replay first, don't I? Before I disappear off. If someone can tell me how to fix this, incidentally, I'll be forever grateful, because it really annoys the absolute crap out of me. Anyway, you want to see the replay, not me faff around with this, so let's give you the replay then, shall we? Landing rate, incidentally, hasn't given it to me, rather annoyingly. Kind of everything, I guess. Right, let's have a look at the replay then. That was reasonable enough. So that brings us to the end of this flight. Realised you had a choice of flights. Thank you very much for choosing this one. Wish you a pleasant onward browsing journey. Those things are still up again. I look forward to welcoming you back on board again in the very near future. So from here in New York Stewart, I leave you with this landing. I've still got to try and resolve that really seriously irritating bug where it just stops. It's really annoying. we go into the main MSFS control settings a minute, and maybe just try and see if I can recalibrate that or something. Maybe something there is causing an issue, and have a look. But anyway, I just want to leave you with this arrival into York Stewart. God, look at that sky. Oh my word, does that look good. It's fabulous, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit buggy. Yeah, I think we can just ease up some settings very slightly. You shouldn't notice anything, but anyway, here we are. Don't know what the landing rate was. I think it's reasonably reasonable. There we go. That felt nice and soft, didn't it? And there we have it, folks. I'll see you on my next flight. Farewell for now.